Christopher Nolan is a weeb.
These are the facts. Welcome to Full-Time Movie Fans. You heard it here. Now, obviously, this is the preface to the movie review we're about to do, which is what you're here for. Hopefully, you're here to hang out
And talk about the movies.
Yeah,
You saw the intro. You know what we're talking about.
yeah. So
Don't be coy.
this is Full-Time Movie Fans. If you forgot, or if this is your first time, hopefully you enjoy hanging out with us as much as we enjoy hanging out with you. I'm your host, Jarvis. This is other host, Michael.
Mayhaps.
Yeah, and we love movies, as hopefully do you. Did that sentence make sense?
Yes, we do. We love movies. How about you?
Look, man, we just love you guys so much.
This is a Satoshi Kon movie.
I mean, if you guys haven't heard of this guy, where have you been? I mean, actually, I didn't hear about him.
Especially that's
I'm
you.
just saying.
I said, let's watch Paprika. And Jarvis said, what's that? And I said, it's an animated movie by Satoshi Kon.
I was like, oh, I thought.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what that means.
I was like, are you quoting the Captain America?
I have no idea where you're going with this.
That's in Captain America Civil War. That's how Wanda and Vision get together, because he makes her paprika.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
And then she was like, it needs a little more paprika.
Yeah.
And maybe they were talking about the movie, and maybe they watched it for dinner and a movie, and that's how they fell in love.
I have noticed that it's kind of funny. We talked about Jojo Rabbit.
Did we?
We did it recently.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Hopefully it's out before this one. Otherwise, that'd be weird.
I'm definitely gonna release them in weird orders.
You dog, you. But something that I noticed immediately before we get into anything else, I think that Paprika, at least from what I know, had a very heavy motif about blue butterflies, right? You saw butterflies a lot in there?
No, I missed it.
Okay. Well, next time when you use your eyes to watch a movie, you can notice that there were a lot of blue butterflies.
There were a lot. I know. I'm just being.
And then there was with Jojo Rabbit. So I'll preface this with
there was a gray rabbit in the movie.
You're correct, there was. But in Paprika, the blue butterfly usually signifies that there's something wrong, or something that seems perfectly fine is definitely not fine.
Yeah.
And the scene, and spoilers, by the way, this is all spoilers. You're not safe. This is not a safe place for you to be listening about movies that you haven't watched. But in Jojo Rabbit, the scene where Jojo learns that his mom's dead, he's following a blue butterfly out into the public area.
See, guys,
so
everything's connected. Everything has to do with everything else, and we're just here to.
Everything's a dream. This is all a simulation, and we're all living within a dream.
And speaking of simulations, this movie is a simulation of real life because it is animation.
Yes. Which is one of those Japanese animes.
Yeah, it's an art form, and beautifully done as well. Because we also, unless this is the future, because I decided to mess with the order and release it later, we've also done that. We've also done Ponyo, which is also Japanese animated and animated very beautifully, as Studio Ghibli is well known for.
Oh yeah,
Ghibli. I always mess that up. I think that's my bet. Ghibli?
Okay. Ghibli. Studio Ghibli. I heard somebody say that once. That was a hard one.
Yeah. But this is an animated movie. And for those of you who think that animated movies are for kids, let me tell you.
This is rated R.
Yeah, let me tell you. This
is rated R.
Yeah, this is not rated for kids.
And you can stream it for free on YouTube. So if you want to watch this video, if you want to watch this movie before this video, it's very easy. Just go.
It's extremly easy
right there.
It's it's
subtitled, so you're gonna have to read. And if you're not a fan of reading, maybe see a therapist.
Yeah, it's like if you were at dinner and your significant other asked you to pass the salt, but the salt's right in front of them. That's how easy it is to get from our video to Paprika.
Yeah, that is how it is.
YouTube.
That is
it's
really
it's
easy.
literally right in front of you.
So let's get into this. This is very important.
Oh, salt, paprika, both
Yeah,
seasonings.
which
Also,
another
connection.
funky little bit is salt and pepper.
Yeah.
From Blue's Clues had a baby named Paprika.
They sure did. We're telling you guys, we're here with the
all
deep cuts.
connected.
We're here with the deep cuts and the crazy similarities.
This movie's a trip. If anyone's ever seen Inception, this is Inception, but better, and it came out before Inception.
Much better.
So it's like quite literally, there are scenes in this movie that look very similar to Inception. Christopher Nolan's never confirmed it, but I guarantee you, Christopher Nolan's watched this movie and then went, "Oh, that's cool. I want to do that. I want to do something." And then
he tells everybody, "Man, I had this great idea."
Yeah, from watching a Satoshi Kon movie. Yeah, so it's that's my rundown of what the plot basically is, but it is much better and it has much higher stakes in my opinion, and the characters are much more fleshed out. Not to diss Christopher Nolan. I think Christopher Nolan is a phenomenal director and he does a really great job, and that he should probably leave the writing to other people.
Yeah, he has good ideas, but I think sometimes
help with other people.
Yeah,
make the great ideas phenomenal.
It doesn't have to be all yours.
Yeah, and I think
make it better.
I think that's Christopher Nolan's down point. But we're not talking about Christopher Nolan. We're talking about Satoshi Kon.
We're talking about Satoshi Kon,
a man who is so good at his job.
He's so very good.
So good at his job.
Yeah.
This was actually adapted from a novel that Satoshi Kon also helped create. I believe.
Hey, didn't Taika Waititi do a movie based off of a novel?
Yeah, you're really harping on this bit, huh? This bit that everything's connected. So, this movie's got a lot of moving pieces, as moving pictures do.
Wow, another connection, crazy.
Yeah. Don't move the camera back to driver. Just get off him. He's lost his privileges for the next 5 minutes.
Time. Doesn't time have... No, I'm just kidding.
No. I'm losing control. So this movie starts out with...
Now it feels like your nightmare, right?
Yeah, it does. It starts out with a dream that this cop is having. What's the cop's name again? It's
a dream within a dream?
It's what's his name? Of course, it doesn't show me. Detective Kogawa?
Yeah, I think that's his name.
So I think that's it.
Yeah.
I'll just call him Detective because it makes it easier for me because I can't see the full name. But the detective is having a dream.
As detectives do.
That he's like chasing down a dude. He's having a really hard time. Like it's a reoccurring dream that he's having. And this girl's popping up in the dream with him every time. And then he wakes up and Paprika is the lady. Helping him through his dreams. They have this device that allows you to connect to each other's dreams and like experience the dreams together. That's pretty much all the device does from what we're told, right? Is that you can just connect dreams and they're using it for the purposes of therapy.
Yes.
Which is a neat,
makes sense.
Neat little device. It's a neat little thing.
I dig it.
So, and then she leaves and it comes out that Paprika is an alias for, by the way, spoilers. Again, spoilers. You're not safe. We're 9 minutes in. If you haven't figured that out by now, you probably should. But as I was saying, we move on to our main character, who is Chiba. Oh no, the cat's screaming. Chiba is a therapist, psychologist. She's a doctor who works at this facility that's developing this. I don't remember what they called it. It was like
it was DC.
A DC Mini.
DC Mini.
The DC Mini is the thing that lets you go into dreams.
Because of DC.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was going to say DVD. DVD Mini.
DC Miniverse.
Yeah. So we learn a little bit about this. It's like they're hopping dreams, but one of the devices has gone missing and somebody is using it maliciously. And they believe it's an inside job, but they don't understand who it is. And when they go and they talk to the not the director, but I don't remember what they call him. He's he's like the investor. He's like the CEO or something.
Oh, you know what? Let me jump in to make this, because as I was watching, I wanted to make this joke.
I see a smile on his face and I'm scared
because it's the chairman.
Oh, he's yes,
but he's
in a wheelchair
like forever. So
that's correct.
How is he not offended? They keep calling him chairman, like.
But you didn't make the connection.
Yeah,
that's really funny.
He's like stuck in a chair. So if I was him, I'd be like, "Hey, you guys, shut the hell up!" Like,
you thought they were just being derogatory the entire time.
No. I knew that he was the chairman and CEO of the company. Good. But I was just like, how is he not taking offense to them calling him chairman? It's like, dude, I have a name.
That's true.
I'm more than just my disability, guys.
Okay. So yeah, we got the chairman, and they're talking, and then in the middle of talking, the actual director of the program gets caught in the middle of a dream. So their reasoning behind it is that anybody who's ever been attached to the DC Mini is like still connected to the entire system
to the
as a whole.
Yeah.
And the device that was stolen was one that wasn't interfaced properly to be able to like keep the limiters properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything can like mix together. And so they're trying to figure out who stole this thing. And the director just went into basically like a waking coma. Started talking a bunch of gibberish, and now he's stuck in a dream that's not his, that he can't get out of.
Well, doesn't he just starts like
he just starts
ranting
talking and then
raving, and he jumps out of a window,
out like a 5-story window, and then it puts him into a coma. And then we got the guy who makes the stuffed Tokita, who is made fun of a lot for being fat. Which I was like, man, dude, you guys can like tone it down a bit.
Yeah, man,
they're harping on him being a little big,
man.
Too much.
He just enjoys food, man. Like,
yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
So they figured out that one dude was just not showing up to work, and it was Tokita's like assistant, basically. And so they're like, well, he's probably the one who took it. The dream that everyone's getting stuck in is like a bunch of toys in a parade running around. And
very creepy toys.
Yes.
By the way.
And this dude loves dolls and toys and stuff. And so it's probably him. So they go to his house and he is not there.
Be wary of dudes that love dolls.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
in real life.
Anybody with a Funko Pop is not safe.
Oh, I didn't mean like that. Don't think of that one.
So Chiba is in this apartment with all of these other people looking for stuff, and she gets caught up in the dream herself and almost jumps out like a 20-story window.
That's because the assistant, the creepy assistant, is like spying and then she catches on, goes into a closet.
Yeah,
and there's a weird stairwell that goes down into the dream world, I guess.
Yeah. This movie makes a lot more sense if you watch it. We're really trying our best here.
Once you watch it, you'll understand, like, wow, it's hard to explain.
It is a visual feast.
Yes.
Is what I would consider it. It's a very pretty movie. It's also disturbing. It's also kind of gross.
It's also...
It makes you uncomfortable, and it's also very pretty and very fun and very gripping. I remember I put it on to, like, just to be like, well, maybe I should watch this now, because Sybil was taking a nap, and I was like, well, maybe we'll watch it afterwards. Maybe I'll watch it now. So I put it on, and I was like 15 minutes in, and I was like, maybe I should stop before I get ahead of myself. 30 minutes in, I was like, oh, well, I'm a little too deep now. I just gotta keep watching. And so I watched the rest of the movie, just sitting down. And I don't usually like sitting down and just watching movies with the subtitles on, like foreign movies. I'm a dub before sub kind of person.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of you. I'm a sub before dub kind of guy.
So this was easier for you than it was for me.
Oh,
yeah. And I did not have a problem at all during this movie. I had a great time. Yeah. It was very fun. So let me see if I can figure out the rest of this explanation before we move on.
So she goes down into this stairwell that leads to the dream world.
Yeah, and it almost kills her too. And she goes back. It's like, hey, there's a bunch of stuff going on. We go back to the detective. The detective's still having problems with his reoccurring dreams. And and Chiba, who is also Paprika. Paprika is like her alias in the dreams, so that she can get more people comfortable.
And you can tell that Paprika is very well versed in the dream world because, like,
she's hopping around.
Yeah, she's doing all the crazy dream things. Like it's second nature. So very experienced. So you just feel like, okay, this person knows what they're doing.
Yeah. And Chiba's very like straight faced, serious.
I would say very stoic and reserved as well.
Yeah. Paprika's very flirty.
Yeah.
Very fun. Wants to have a good time. Very open. Very talkative. Yeah. Says it like it is.
Just a fun lady.
Mm-hmm. Like who she kind of like what she wants to be.
Yeah.
But isn't. That's a theme here, by the way.
Which, sorry to jump ahead, but there was a cool line where they're actually together in the dream/reality world, and she says, "Hey, you're a part of me," and she's like, "Did you ever think that maybe you're a part of me?"
Yeah.
Paprika says that to her.
Yeah.
I was like,
"This happened later." I know it was good. Just like you listen to me, it's like maybe you should start listening to yourself more,
which is me.
And then hops on a horse that was in a poster and then runs off into the sunset.
Yeah, right off. Yeah.
That's later.
Later.
I swear, if somebody just watches this episode without watching the movie, all of this is going to sound like a psychopathic, schizophrenic episode.
Yeah. Maybe like partway through, we should just turn it into a cooking show.
Yeah.
Halfway through, and that it'll
be
fit the theme.
Let's move the setup. So. They're still trying to figure out who did this. At some point, Chiba is like, maybe the assistant dude is not actually the guy who's doing it all. Maybe he's a victim too. And so she goes back, like intentionally into the dream.
Yeah.
No. She goes in person, like to where the dream was taking place, with Tokita, the guy who develops all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And they find his assistant,
the overweight guy,
who falls down and crashes. And she's like, So he is a victim. He is a victim of this too. And then more weird stuff happens. More dream weird stuff happens.
Is that the part where like she's a little pixie flying around?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
That's way later.
Sorry.
And so they come back. The chairman. Not because he's in a chair, but because of his position in the company.
Because the legs don't work, okay?
The entire time is like talking shit. Is like, well, maybe we should just call it quits on this program entirely because it's against natural law or
very
whatever.
Unsuspiciously, by the way.
Very unsuspiciously. To be honest, the first time I was like, oh, why does he run this company if he hates this thing so much?
Yeah.
And then the second and third time I was like, oh, it's getting a little weird.
He's very insistent.
I also thought I was clever because like 5 minutes in, I was like, Paprika is the one doing all of this. And it's the lady. Even though like even in the title sequence it shows her switching.
You're twisting your little mustache.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so good at this, and I wasn't. It's like it's in the title sequence that Chiba is Paprika.
Call me Mr. Detective.
But they are trying to keep her identity a secret. Like that's a thing. Like she takes care of clients, and the clients know Paprika, but they don't know it's Chiba.
Except for the detective guy, he figures it out the first time he meets her.
Yes,
in person.
Yeah, he does. Well, he's a detective. The detective's also a great character, and he can't be overshadowed. So at some point, they bring in the detective to be like, "Hey, there's something going on here. We're gonna need some help." And the detective's like, "Well, I got my own cases going on, but like." You're Paprika, aren't you? Anyways.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, and so they're like, well, he didn't seem like he was willing to help very much, but like wanted to continue going through the process. And
I think he had a little crush on Paprika. I think
everyone had a little crush on Paprika.
Yeah, I sure did. I was like,
very adventurous.
Man, that's one spicy lady.
Mm-hmm.
Get it?
That's actually well, I'll get to that part in a minute.
I'm sorry, I cracked myself up.
So we're running through time here. So we so they keep on looking through. At some point, Paprika goes deeper into the dreams that are happening.
Yeah,
and
she
finds herself into everything. Is like
she gets real deep.
She's like, why is this random dude from the association here? And finds out that the chairman is behind all of it.
Surprise.
They try to like kidnap her and keep her in the dream, but she gets out.
Yeah.
And then she's brought back in somehow.
Yeah.
So she got captured in the dream. And that's when like the dude's henchman, the random guy from the association, is like pinning her down. Is like, haha, this you told me I wasn't going to become anything. It's a very uncomfortable scene, very very poetically done. He's like, I know that you're actually Paprika, that you're actually Chiba, and I prefer Chiba anyway.
Yeah, he did the whole Magneto. Yeah. I prefer the real Paprika.
Yeah. And then the detective is like experiencing like some actual breakthrough in his therapeutic process, and is like, I should do something about this. I should find them, and learns that there's like a problem in the dream world, and goes and sees Paprika getting like pinned down, and goes and rescues her.
Well, one of the things that she gave him was a card that took him to that one room online, which was, part of a dream, like a dream chat room, I guess.
Yeah.
And he actually is inside of it. And then he goes from there to another room where he's watching on a movie screen what's happening to Paprika. The dude's torturing her.
And
he just walks through. He's starting to believe, like Neo, and he's starting to do the things. So he walks through the screen into where they are, and he saves her like a hero.
And then his whole arc is resolved through that too. We're really not doing justice to this. I don't think we ever really do, but this one especially, we're not doing justice to. The story's just so like intricate. And so after this, the dream world and reality kind of blend. She gets out of the dream world, but the assistant dude gets shot in the dream world, but dies in real life.
Well,
it like kind of merges.
Well, because he's still experiencing his dream as well.
Yeah,
where he's trying to solve this mystery of this murder, but then also it's related to some past experiences and trauma he has with an old friend of his.
Right.
That, funnily enough, they were supposed to be doing a business, making a movie together.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, he kind of decided, no, I'm not good enough for this, and he quits, leaves his friend. And his friend is the one he's been chasing the whole time because he has so much guilt regarding that. Mm-hmm. And his friend died, so the movie never got made, apparently, or something, right?
Yeah.
And so, but then the bad guy, when he rescues Paprika, however you say it, Ghibli? Is it Ghibli?
It all comes together. It all ties into each other.
So normally we see the scene where his friend is running through this door.
Yeah.
The dead body's in between them. The guy's slowly dying. This guy from his murder investigation that he's stuck on. And then past all the way further down, there's a door, and his friend is the one running out. That's revealed later because he thought he was chasing himself.
Yeah.
Which also has some, I'm sure there's something deeper there. And after he saves
far
Paprika,
too long to discuss in this podcast.
Yeah, after he saves Paprika, it's the evil dude that like stuck his hands all up in her and turned her into the real her.
Yeah.
He finally decides it's time to take action.
Yeah.
Like a boss, shoots him, and then we get to the point where you're saying where he's dying in multiple...
Reality merges with the dreams, and then they have to figure out like how to... Like all of the dreams start crashing together with reality, and the chairman, who is no longer in a chair, turns into some giant kaiju dream monster.
Who apparently has just control over the dream world. Yeah. Can do as he wishes.
Yeah, so Chiba and the detective and the director are all running to kind of like solve this problem. And at some point Paprika shows up and they're like, "What? How?" And she's like, "Don't ask questions. It doesn't make sense."
Just like this whole review.
And so at some point they have to split up because Tokita is still not doing great. And it's like a robot dude stuck in the dream, and Chiba wants to go and save him because she's in love with him. Isn't that beautiful?
Man, I was like,
oh, I just felt, okay.
Let's win your hope for myself. Maybe there's a pretty girl out there that will like me for me.
There is.
She'll see my genius and look past the extra poundage that I carry.
Sure.
All those extra burgers that I shouldn't eat.
everybody needs somebody who's going to eat their leftovers, you know? She's still shaking her head.
I'm just out there looking for my Spice Girl.
And Paprika's like, no, we have to go. Nice. We have to go solve this problem. And Chiba's like, well, you have to listen to me because I control you. And Paprika's like, baby, I'm the one who's been in control the entire time.
Now we come to the point.
About that.
We come to the point in the timeline.
And she was like, no, you're supposed to listen to me. And Paprika's like, maybe you should listen to yourself then.
Yeah.
So Chiba goes off to go and save Tokita.
Which I actually liked is because Paprika says now she's being, so I guess she's being true to herself now.
Yeah.
So
good.
She's actually
very, very
she's
good.
actually living what she
wishes she would do.
What's true is that she really cares for him.
Yeah.
More than just a coworker, more than just like she actually loves him as a person.
Yeah.
And so she's off to do it. Yeah, just very nice.
And Paprika and the rest of them go and try to solve the problem. And so then they end up running around a bit, find this massive, like, Inception-esque hole of the universe, which is much cooler than the Inception visual.
Yeah.
Just to say, not to shit on Inception. Inception's a fun movie. This one's just so much better. And then big kaiju chairman comes out and is like, ha ha ha, I can literally do anything now. And Paprika, he's like, I'm the Lord of Darkness. And Paprika goes, darkness, light, something else. Well, it was man, woman. He's like, I know how to solve this problem. See, all you needed was a little spice of life or something like that. That was the thing, is that Paprika is the spice of life for
she sure
Chiba.
is.
And then we get this weird little sequence at the end there, which like visually makes sense poetically, but like plot wise doesn't really make sense. Basically, Paprika turns into a big kaiju lady, sucks up the entire dream mess, and then reality exists in its own thing, and dreams exist.
Yeah, she takes control over the dream world and becomes its spice queen. Yeah, and even sucks up the bad chairman.
She's now Dream Spice.
Yes, she is, and she is now leader of the dream world, I assume.
Yeah. Hey, you look good over there.
Look real good.
Have you thought about sharing your kindness with others?
Share the love.
Maybe like the video. Click on that subscribe button. And show your friends.
Yeah, just touch it ever so lightly, that like button. Move over to the subscribe button. Maybe tap your keyboard just a little bit. Leave a comment. Bye.
That's it.